Hello there, AceTrainerM here. I thought I'd start by telling a small story. A couple of days ago, I finally got around to finishing the original Legend of Zelda on the NES. Well, it wasn't on the NES, I played it on the Virtual Console Wii version, but I played it nonetheless, and beat it. And I had a wonderful time doing it. I thought it was super fun, I felt super rewarded after beating it. It was a great experience playing through it. But it got me thinking. I play more retro games than most gamers do, and it made me realize that, a lot of people say that retro games are all about nostalgia and that's it, but it's not really, because I saw that by playing Legend of Zelda, the original Legend of Zelda, I could enjoy it so much, incredibly so, and, I haven't really played any other 2D Zelda game. I've beaten all 3D Zeldas, but when it comes to 2D Zelda games, I think that's the only one I've played and beaten. So no, I'm really experienced in that kind of genre, and of course I wasn't around when the game came out. So, the fact that I could enjoy it so much, and know that it's not part of, reawakening all the memories in my brain, it was really weird, because I know a lot of people, they say how great these games are because of nostalgia, because of said, oh, it reminds me of my childhood, stuff like that, but I managed to enjoy the game despite the fact that I haven't had any past experiences with the game, and that really showed me that retro games aren't about nostalgia as much as they're just about quality gameplay. What I mean is that essentially back then when retro games were made, they were still made with the arcade mind frame, meaning that you put in you think a lot about the way you make the game, so every pixel, everything counts, so you can get a lot of hours of play out of not a lot of hours of work. And what that means is, for example, essentially, if you think about it, a lot of this difficulty in Zelda, or original Zelda, is not necessarily about, it is about skill as well, but it's mostly, one, the difficulty of enemies, and two, finding out what to do, especially finding out what to do. And that's necessarily not something that takes a lot on the development side to execute. Like, imagine if the story was linear, but they wanted to have the same time frame. So what they have to do, they have to make a lot more content, because, the player won't spend as much time looking around, exploring the world. And, it just shows how much more thought was put into those games to make them as great as they were. And I realized that another thing in classic retro games, especially RPGs or games like that, is that because you can fill in the gaps yourself, and that really feels great. Like, especially the first Final Fantasy, I think it's my favorite in the series, and, it's really weird, but I just like the fact how you just put into this world, and while you have a story and a quest, and you choose your own characters, and you name them, and you choose what to do, pretty much, and you get this, great freedom, and a lot of backstory, and all. You really feel like these these characters, that they're, yours, and what you've done with them, they're your own story. You've told your own story, your own little world, and, it feels fantastic. Same goes with the original Zelda, despite the fact that you're Link, and, you're saving Hyrule and stuff like that, you're still, you choose what to do at all times. You choose the way to play, the way you treat old men in caves, stuff like that, Like, a lot of times, the way you play Link reflects, even in future Zelda games, reflects what you take from the experience. Like, you could either be like the normal hero going around saving everyone, helping everyone out, or you can be like more of a troll, throwing bombs and cuckoos and destroying signs and stuff like that, and, it's fun. The fact that you get so much control over what you do is fun. It's not necessarily control that impacts the game, but it's still something which you can do to express yourself in the game. What I'm saying here, that the retro games are a lot more about, one, about the aspect of challenge, and two, about the aspect of role fulfillment in, than nostalgia. And I think that's what makes them so good, that because they are based on these elements and they're so finely crafted, that's the reason we can enjoy them for such a long time, not because we played them during our childhood and that's it. Like, we can play other retro things, so we can see retro movies. And, of course, nostalgia is a thing. If you enjoyed it as a kid, it probably will make you enjoy it as an adult or something like that. But with games, it's not the same, because it's an experience which we can all take from ourselves. And if it's finely crafted, then even if it was 30 years later, you could still enjoy it all the same. Yeah, it's insane. Like, I think Zelda is, gonna get to its 30th anniversary quite soon, and it's gonna be insane. It's really insane to think about, really. But, basically what I'm saying here is that, if you go around, see a retro game on sale, or you get a chance to play a retro game, really sit down and enjoy the experience. And don't try and play with, like, the clearest mindset you can without being influenced by its future games and stuff like that. Because if you played a retro game and just said, the next version is so much better, you're not going to enjoy it that much. If you just take it as, a standalone game and you see what in this game influenced the future games, you're just going to have a wonderful time. So, thank you for listening. Write your opinion, the retro games you like, in the comments below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.